with my setup, which I should not be doing. I should not be tinkering with anything that I haven't tested ahead of time. Nope, that's not what I wanted. There we go. There we are. Okay, I think let's see if this works. Perfect. Hello, Lordu. I hope I'm saying that right. Hi guys. Hello, welcome. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is just put a note in the chat. Hang on, I had it actually typed out here. So I'm just going to put a note in the chat and pin it to the top to let new people know that if I don't respond to a message right away, it's because I'm working. And I do want to make sure that I have some productive work time that is not without interruptions. I want to give you guys a chance to talk amongst yourselves. And I want people to know that after some productive work time, I will stop and go to the chat and we will answer questions, because I love answering questions. I love responding to the things that you guys are pointing out or asking about. But I also need to make sure that I have like some dedicated focus time. And then, of course, we always have to put in a little bit of a message for the people who sometimes spam the chat. Maybe it's unintentional. You don't realize you're spamming the chat. Maybe you're only here to spam the chat. I really don't have any idea what the intent behind it is, but it's just a friendly reminder that if you are spamming the chat, it'll probably get deleted. You may be put into a timeout. And that's that. These are the mean streets of YouTube, after all, aren't they? So sometimes we have to give those little reminders to people. And, you know, it is what it is. So with that being said, let's just take a look at the demo. Let's just take a look at the demo so we can see what we're going to be working on today. So this is just like my sandbox of where I like to test out my ideas and sort of prepare for live streams. And as a reminder, we have, hang on, where are you? As a reminder, we have our data. Where are you? JSON. Okay, so here's our data. And this is just a JSON file that I built myself, and I grabbed some stock images. And then we pulled in this data just as like a little like faux sort of API, right? So we have these two values right here. We have category and colors. The JavaScript specifically comes in and looks at these arrays, sorts the arrays, pulls out the duplicates, and then we have two sections here, category and colors. I also have an open search text field, and this specifically is programmed to search by the name. So it's searching by the name. We also have a sort. The default sort is alphabetical. So the default sort is A to Z. We have Z to A, and then we have price, regular price, low to high, and high to low. We also have a reset button. So anytime we reset, that resets the filters over here on the left, it resets the search, and it resets the sort by. So let's see here, let's see how things go. So if I click on drink, cup of joe, espresso, glass of rosé wine, all of these objects in our data have that value in the category array. So let's click on pink. Okay, so now we're showing Oh, this is the other thing. The filter items narrow the results. They don't expand the results. So drink and pink, these are both part of this object right here. We could add pink to something else. Like, let's just stick it in here someplace for the heck of it. We'll put it in right here. And I resaved, so it's automatically refreshing. So if I come down here to pink, now we see anything with pink. But then if I add, let's do cake. Now we know that this object has a cake value in category and a pink value in colors. And it does. We can see that here. And then anytime we're adding to these arrays, they're automatically being added to the filter. And now we can click reset, and that resets our values. So here's the title. So if I look for cake, whoops, spell it right, it's pulling up anything in the title with the word cake. And of course, I can reset that as well. So let's do that again. We'll go cake. Let's say I want to sort this by high to low. Now we're sorting that by these regular price values. So when I tell you that if I had to do this from scratch, it would maybe take me 2 or 3 days. I'm not sure. It would take me a long time. I would consider myself to be a very intermediate user of JavaScript. I could definitely do this. It would take me a long time though. I did this with GitHub Copilot yesterday in an afternoon. It was ridiculously effortless, low stress, and really fun. Really, really fun. So we're gonna walk through this code today, get all of these things implemented. This is the only goal that I have for today, is to get our label JavaScript filter wired up. And tomorrow we'll do the styling. I'm not worried about the styling today. Oh, one more thing. We also have a load more button. We have a load more button and we have some results. So my data has 21 objects and it's counting the results here. I have 9 items per page, so it's showing 1 through 9 of 21 results. I have that on the top and on the bottom so we can load more. Now we've got 1 through 18 of 21 results. Now we've got 1 through 21 of 21 results. And then as soon as we have all of our results, the load more button disappears. So we're not showing that anymore. What else? Oh, the other thing I did was the filtering filters everything in the data. It doesn't just filter what's being displayed. It filters everything in the data. So let's go to pink. That's so there are things showing up here that are not a part of that original 9 data set, right? Because the original 9 are just the first 9 in the data that are in alphabetical order. So if you're a new developer and you're thinking like AI is going to take over and AI is going to do our jobs for us and we're not going to need developers anymore because of AI, I couldn't disagree with you more. Everything that I did yesterday, I had to tell, and it's really just ChatGPT living inside of VS Code. So it removed this layer of painful complexity where I was copying and pasting back and forth between ChatGPT and VS Code. It just integrated it right into VS Code where it can read all of my files and it can figure out what I'm trying to do. But I very much have to tell it what to do. I have to tell it to narrow the results, not expand the results, because originally it wrote this JavaScript and it was expanding the results. That's not the normal behavior. If you are on a website and you're filtering to look for things, you want your filters to narrow the results. That's the expected behavior. I want my filters to sort all of the data, not just the first 9 things that come alphabetically in the data. So you very much need a developer, a human being, to understand what normal behavior is, what a user experience is. Or maybe you have a leadership team wherever you work in your organization that says, no, I want this behavior. Even if they understand what maybe a normal user experience is, they may come to you and say, actually, I do want that filter to expand the results, not narrow the results. Actually, I do want the filter to only filter what's being displayed on the screen. You need a human being, a developer who understands user behavior and understands requirements gathering and doing their own BA work to tell AI what to do. So there's absolutely no shame, and I feel shame sometimes, in using AI to help us write code faster and quicker. But you still absolutely have to have a human being doing these things, and that requires experience. So if you're one of the many people who asks me, what's the point with AI? The point is that we very much need humans architecting these solutions. AI is a tool that makes it faster and easier. And here's what I think the future of development is. Employers are going to need fewer developers to do more work faster. And I understand yesterday why, in particular, after my experience yesterday, it just makes so much more sense now that I've learned how to use GitHub Copilot. It doesn't bother me at all that there would be more expectations for me to do more work in a shorter amount of time, because AI makes that possible, and it makes it not only possible, but it makes it fun. I think Brad Traversy just did a video about how AI made coding fun again for him. And I 100% agree with that sentiment. So I just want to start getting you used to this idea. So we will go through this today. We'll walk through it, but be forewarned that in the future, a lot of my content is going to include me using AI and GitHub Copilot, particularly for the JavaScript, not really for the CSS, but particularly for the JavaScript. So, and with that being said, let's crack open our project for today. Of course I don't have it ready. Of course I don't have it ready, because I was so focused on showing the demo. So here we are. All right. And this site that I have called CSS Setup, this is on my GitHub. So if you want to go check that out on my GitHub, it's there. You are welcome to do so. One moment here. One moment. Okay. And if you see me take myself off the screen, that is just because I have allergies and a runny nose. And I think it's kind of impolite to do those things. I think it's a bit impolite to do those things on camera with the mic on. So if you're wondering where I disappeared to for a minute or so, that's where I'm going. That's what I'm doing. Okay, here's our category filter. Here's our script.js. Oh, shoot. Angela, you do need this. You know, some days I just think I'm so prepared, and then I find out how wrong I am. Okay. There we go. So if you see me looking down today, I'm looking down. I'm looking down at what I did yesterday. And let me just say good morning to a couple people before we get started. So Jojo Invincible, I think this says that you are learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Can you give me a roadmap? You know, the roadmap is, I don't know if I can really give you a roadmap. All I can do, good morning, Rita Kwan. Thank you for joining us. We're happy to have you. I don't know if I can really give you a roadmap because I didn't follow a roadmap. The path that I took was that I had ideas for projects, and as I started to work on projects, I learned things as they presented themselves. So I think there are lots of different types of front-end developers. I think there are developers like myself who are very UI focused, and really lean into CSS and kind of save JavaScript for more DOM manipulation. And I think there are front-end developers who are really like object-oriented programmers. They are doing heavy data manipulation. They are, doing the full CRUD applications where they're sending data back and forth. And I think that it depends on the type of developer that you want to be, that what you're good at and what you lean into. I promise you there are organizations out there that need every type of developer. So my best advice when it comes to a roadmap is to just start building projects. Just start working on the things that interest you, and then the things that you will learn organically through making those projects, you'll just start to figure out. The problems and the solutions will begin to present themselves, and then that's how you really learn. So beyond that, I just don't have a hard and fast roadmap for you. So this is my last one before I get started. What do you think about Dart and Flutter? I have no opinion on Dart or Flutter. I don't have an opinion on Dart or Flutter. So if you use those things and you like them and you enjoy them, then go ahead and do them. I am framework and library agnostic. For the last 7 years, I've been using Vue as my framework of choice. And let me see here. Oh, is my mic okay? I think it's okay. For the last oh, okay. I think that's okay. Let me know if my audio gets a little weird. Actually, I'm wondering. Let me know if that is okay. I think I know what the problem was. Let me know if that was okay. Yeah, Jojo Invincible. Just start building projects. Just start building projects and do what you enjoy. There are too many frameworks and libraries out there for me to have an opinion on. Flutter was made with Dart, that's all. Yeah, I've never used Flutter or Dart, so I don't have an opinion, and I tend to be very agnostic when it comes to those things. I think you should do whatever you enjoy. Also do whatever somebody is willing to pay you for. That's my next piece of advice. If somebody says, hey, oh, let me see here. I can fix that. Okay, good. Now it is swapped quiet. Tell me now how it sounds. We haven't really officially started yet on anything, so. Oh, and Rahul is here. Welcome, Rahul. I'm glad you are here, Rahul from Nepal. Thank you for joining us. Oh, Emilio. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that was you, Emilio. Welcome, Emilio. I'm so glad you're here. Here, also one of the mods. Happy to have you. Okay, nobody's saying anything bad. Okay, better balance now. Okay, good. You know what? I'm going to stop messing with my audio. Yeah, I'm going to stop messing with the audio. So, okay. Here we are. Let's get started. So here is our get products from last week. In fact, let's see if we can put these side by side. I think it's going to make it a little easier. There we go. Okay, this is perfect. Let me know if you have any trouble seeing this. I think I'm just going to take myself off. There we go. So this is our get products from last week. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take our fetch and we're going to move this into its own function. And it's going to be called function we're going to do init products and filters. And things are going to look a little crazy for a second, but that is okay. And I'm going to get this out of the way. And then we're going to initialize all projects as a global variable. And we're going to add some parameters to get products. So we're going to do products and a reset. That's for that reset button. And then we already are defining grid and returning out if we can't find it. We already have our format. And we have to grab this. We're actually going to initialize get products inside of the fetch. So we're going to pull this out as well. There we go. That right there. And then I think we'll be able to do get products just like this. Not quite yet. Oh, actually. All right. going to do all products equals products. And then we'll do get products. All products. There we go. There we go. So now we have our fetch separate from these functions. Okay, so far so good. So far so good. So next, let's get these filter items. Let's pull these filter items first. So I'm going to close this. And we are going to create filters. Oops. And this will have parameters. So first, we're going to get the filter section. Which is document get element by ID filters. And that is right here. That's our form with an ID of filters. So that's what that is. And we're going to check to make sure it's there. So filter section. If it's not there, we'll return. Next, we're going to get the IDs of our field sets. And actually, I changed this. So right now, the ID is on the field set. We don't need this because we're going to put that in dynamically. What we are going to do is an unordered list. And I'm going to do the same thing here. There we go. So category filter and color filter. And then we'll look for the color list. Get element by ID, color filter. And then we'll check for these as well. So if no category or color list, then we'll return. Okay, so far so good. Now let's go through and grab the categories parameters from our data. So we'll do params, categories, categories, can't spell. And we're going to for each category. So we need to create the list item, the li. So we'll do const list item, create or document create element. And we're just going to go ahead and create an li. And then we're going to create the input, which is the checkbox input. So we'll just do const input. Whoops. Document, create element, and we're creating the input. And then input type equals checkbox. Oops, checkbox. Can't spell. And then the input, so now we're doing the attributes, right? So the type attribute is checkbox. Now we're going to do a name attribute, which is category. And then we're going to do a value attribute also of category. But it's not a string category, it's the actual category from the data set. Next, we're going to create a label. And then the label, whoops, we'll go ahead and add content to the label. Text content is going to equal the category, and then we use character at 0. We're going to do 2 uppercase. Category slice 1. Okay, so we are creating the list item, we are creating the input, we're adding a type attribute, a name attribute, and the value is the category from the array because we're for each looping through that category's parameter. Then we're creating a label. Then we're adding whatever this value is as the label text. So now we're going to do label prepend the input. Then we're going to do list item append the child. And we'll see all of this at work in the browser. Just one moment. And then we're going to category list, append that child list item. What do we think so far? We don't see anything here yet because we haven't actually gotten any of that in our fetch request yet. We're just setting it up. We're just setting up the create filters to accept a parameter, and then we're going to put that inside of our fetch request. So let's see if we can actually get this running, and then we'll go ahead and do the colors. So we'll do this first. So right here in our then, we'll do create filters. And it's an object, so I'm just going to put in categories. And we also need to, we actually have to define categories. So we'll do const categories. So we're doing a new set, and it's the products flat map product, the product category, and then we are sorting that. Here we are. So now we're actually going through, pull this up again, products. We're going through all of the category parameters, these arrays inside of our JSON. And we're sorting those into a list, we're removing duplicates, and everything is a checkbox. And we don't have this wired up yet to actually sort this data. We are just building the filters for our sidebar. And all of this is going to be available on the GitHub repository. All of this code will be available for you guys to go look at, review, study, use it in your own projects. Yeah, this will all be available for you. So, okay, so let's go ahead and create the filters now for our colors. And honestly, it's going to be the exact same thing. What's the saying? Work smarter, not harder. So we'll do colors. This will be color, 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 and this will be color list. Then we can basically do the exact same thing with this. This here, colors, and this is products, product, color. Well, actually, let's see here. So I was a little inconsistent with my data. So I did a category array, but I used the singular form of category, but I did plural colors. So keep that in mind when you're working with your data. That is just me being inconsistent. So here it's going to be colors, but up here it's going to be singular category. But we're defining it, we're at least defining our variables appropriately. So, and then I'm just going to add this, colors. Oops. Product, flat, product colors. And of course that's not working. Let's see what our error is here. Hopefully it's something simple. Category is not defined. What did I do here? Oh, no, wait a second. Products, category, color, categories, colors, color, color. Oh, right here. Oh, category is not defined. I must have missed. Here we go. All right. There we go. Now we have our colors. So now we have our JavaScript looking at our data, pulling out both of these arrays, sorting them, and removing the duplicates. Beautiful. We're doing everything as a checkbox input inside the form. So, yay. I don't know. I think this is pretty exciting. So, okay, let's actually see if we can get this to filter now. So, looking at my notes. So we're getting our products. There's our load more. All right, so next let's do a function called get checked filters. So when we check these boxes, we need to get those filters. And first I'm going to define checked categories and checked colors. Get checked filters. Oh, we should probably do get checked filters. Oh, you see, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. So first we'll define checked categories. And we're going to make a new array from document query selector all. And we're going to look for the category underscore filter, which is that UL, with an input type checkbox and missed a bracket, and we're looking to see if it's checked. Angela. There we go. So it's the category filter input type checkbox checked. That's the checked categories. Next, we're going to do the checked colors. So we're going to do an array from document query selector all, basically building a new array. And this is the color filter input type is equal to checkbox. There we go. Checked. And we also need to make sure that we are mapping this. So we'll do map there we go. And we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to map it to a new value. Hopefully we can see this here a little bit better. Yeah. So we're getting the checked filters. We're building new arrays based on exactly what's been checked. Next, we're actually going to filter the products. Are we having fun yet? I'm having fun. Okay. So we're going to get the checked categories, which these are the things that we just defined up here. I suppose we could just copy these. And these are going to be equal to this function. And now we'll do filtered products is equal to all products. And we're going to filter that. And we're going to let the category match equal the checked categories. Whoops. Equal to 0 or checked categories. And this is the every. We're going to use the every narrows instead of expands. Product category includes cat. All right, next one. Now we'll do the color match. Let color match. Well, we can probably literally do the same exact thing. Well, I could probably do nope, that's not going to work. Okay, color. Colors. Colors. Color. Color. Okay. And then we need to return the category match and the color match. And then we're going to call get products. Filtered products. And we're going to say true. It's a lot. It's a lot. Oh, and we forgot to return up here as well. We have to return this as well. There we go. And then let's see what else we need to add down here. And then we need to add an event listener. In our create filters. Let's see here. So here's our create filters. So we also need an event listener that's looking for a change in the filter. So yes, I am copying and pasting this over from my demo. We can get a better look at it here. And then I think that's it. I think this might actually filter. Should we try it? Let's see what happens. No, not yet. Okay, let's take a look at our console, see what's missing. Checked colors. Oh, we have a misspelling. Honestly, those are the best. Those are the best. Here we go. Color is not defined. Let's see. Okay, let's start at the top. Did a lot of copying and pasting. So we know this is okay. I think this is fine. Color filter, category filter, checked categories, checked colors, categories, colors, categories, colors. Oh, right here, color. No, we still, I'm sure I have a typo someplace. Color is not defined. Color match, checked colors, color, color. Oh, right here. Category. Color. Let's look together, shall we? I don't see it. Something's missing. So let's go back up here. Don't need that. I don't think we need this. This is just getting the products. I think this is fine. I don't think there's anything there. Color filter, category filter. Checked categories, checked colors. Cat, color, category match, color match. We'll find it eventually. Create filters, categories, colors. We initialized it, right? Yeah. Oh, the event listener? Oh, category inputs, category filter, color inputs, color filter. I don't think it's the event listeners. Oh, the event listeners aren't listening. Hang on, did I put these in the wrong spot? Make sure we have everything in the right order. So we have get products first. Yes. And then we have, oh, actually, I think I have some things out of order here. So I think these need to come after get products. Yeah. We're so close. We're so close. Yeah. So I'm not using URL parameters for the filter. I have done that in the past though. Are they listening? Right. We got an error on the console earlier when we clicked one of the checkboxes. Yeah. And now we're not getting any errors, which that is a very good point, which says to me as well that is just probably not listening correctly. Let's see here. Do we have another? So I think I fixed the SS problem. So that was good to double check that. Okay, let's just scan from top to bottom. We'll find it. 1S, not 2. Yeah. I'm only finding double S's in the place where they should be. So I think I got all of those. Okay, so I'm just going to scan from top to bottom. I don't think there's anything in products. We're so close. This is a fairly normal part of the process. Fairly normal part of the process, isn't it? So I'm just gonna zoom out on this a little bit. Actually, I can't do this split screen because I just don't seem to have enough room. There we go. Oh, I think it's because this needs to be plural. Nope. Well, that is correct, but also I think that this should not be. Did I return? Yep, I returned category match and color match. get products, filtered products. Oh, we didn't add it to our fetch. We didn't add it to our fetch. Filtered products equals all products. And then we pass in filtered products true. We're so close. We're so close. Yeah, I think you're right. I'm just about to start. I have demo code in front of me. We love to struggle with bug fixes, people. All a part of the process. Remember to like and subscribe. Thank you. Thank you. Go Elmo, go. I just want to double check what I have. Just want to double check what I have here. See, preparing ahead of time is supposed to mean that I don't sit on the struggle bus, right? Did I spell everything right? I think so. Products, all products. Filtered products equals all products. Get products, filter products true. But we have our filters, so I don't think anything here is wrong. Yeah. Okay, so that's correct. Category input. So are we even able to? Yep, we are getting them. But we should be logging them. All right, I'm going to do it. We're going to ask for help. My event listener, listen, doesn't seem to be working. Okay, your event listener for the menu buttons is added inside the toggle. No, it isn't. Okay, it's looking at the wrong thing. No. Wrong event listener. Where is it here? these event listeners. The checkboxes may not exist in the DOM when you query them. The selector may be incorrect. The filter products function may have an error. Okay. I've made 2 fixes. Added console logs to confirm that the category and color inputs are found and that event listeners are attached. Fixed a bug in filtered products so it remains a function and does not get overwritten by an array. Okay. Let's do this. Can you review my code to see why the filter isn't filtering the product list? Okay, this overwrites the filtered products function with an array. So when the event listeners call filtered products, they're calling an array, not a function. This breaks the filtering. You should remove or rename that line. Instead, use a separate variable for the filtered products, like let filtered products equal all products. Oh, you know what? I forgot to initialize filtered products. Yeah, I forgot to initialize filtered products up here. So I'm going to undo that. I'm not giving up. Maybe we're just not there yet. Okay, please check again. Okay. Oh, got it. Your code is almost correct, but there is one issue in Get Products. When you filter, you never clear the previous product list from the grid, so new filtered products are appending to the old ones. This makes it look like filtering does not work. You should clear the grid before adding new products. I'll fix this for you. All right. Oh, clear the previous products. Do I have this in here? I don't, but my original code changed so much, so I can kind of see why maybe this isn't working. There we go. There we go. Yeah. So this is why GitHub Copilot, I mean, I've just really discovered the beauty of GitHub Copilot this week. If you've been here for previous streams where I've used ChatGPT to write code and go back and forth, it is just excruciating and painful. And this is GitHub Copilot is just ChatGPT inside of VS Code, looking at my files, able to see what I'm trying to do and get a better understanding of what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. It is magical. It makes it so easy and effortless and fun. It just makes it so incredibly fun. If I had to sit and do all of this on my own, it would take me days. It would probably take me a week to figure all of this out on my own. So to be able to do this in a couple of hours, it's just, to me, it is magical. And this is the future of development. Employers are going to expect developers to be able to use AI tools like this to build faster and to get more complex work done faster. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it because it is so incredibly fun. I think it's just so incredibly fun. Yeah, I'm absolutely love it. And Rahul's saying that he uses Copilot in VS Code, but you have the pro version. Free gets used up quickly. And so I'm about to spend some money and get the pro version. I'm a little fuzzy, Rahul. Maybe you can clear this up for me. I'm a little fuzzy on I was reading the GitHub documentation and it kind of made it sound like the pro version didn't get that many extra calls, or I don't know. It just sort of looked on the surface like it wasn't that much better, but it sounds like, based on what you're saying, that the pro version does get you. Okay, here's my question. Do you run out of requests on the pro version? Because the pro version is $100 a year, and I have no problem spending $100 a year on Copilot because I love it so, so much. So tell me what you think. Do you run out of requests on the pro version? If not, I'm happily going to go ahead and buy it. But just looking at what I've used up since yesterday afternoon, I'm at 52% of my chat messages and 11% of code completions. And that's just on one project in one afternoon. So I could definitely see myself running out, obviously, if I was consistently using this over a month's time. But to be able to do all of this for free, I mean, like, I'm happy to pay for GitHub Copilot. So, okay, so we're going to keep going. We are going to be using GitHub Copilot here for the rest of this because there's just no reason for me to. First of all, it's occurring to me that I'm trying to type out and explain things that I don't 100% understand. So I understand the big picture of what's going on, but I can't sit and explain to you what a flat map is. Because I don't exactly understand those things either. So we are going to lean a little bit into GitHub Copilot for problem solving. I am going to copy and paste some code in here. And in my opinion, this better represents the state of modern development, is understanding how to use AI tools. So I think that is just a better approach for me moving forward. And Rahul says, in the pro version, you'll get 300 premium requests or premium models, but unlimited free requests, which you are using right now. Hope you understand. Honestly, the free requests are incredible. So if it's better than this, like, mind officially blown, because I'm just so blown away, clearly, by what I was able to do with the free version. So I'm totally going to buy the pro version of Copilot, and we are going to be leveraging that more here. So Rahul, thank you for that input. Thank you for that input. I'm happy to have that feedback because that was the number that I saw, 300 premium requests. And I was like, what am I missing about this? That means I get an extra 300 requests, but I missed the part where I get unlimited free requests. So I love that. Okay, so now we can filter. We can filter. And so let's make sure that we can narrow. So here's everything with cake. If I also do blue, so now we're narrowing. So that's good. That's perfect. So let's make sure that we can. Let's start with, what should we start with? There's so much more to do. There's so much more to do. How are we doing on time? Let me check. We're at about an hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to keep going. Okay, so let's do our load more button. Let's do our load more button. So right here, we're going to define a load more button, and we're going to get the element by ID. So let's make sure that load more is on our button. I don't need this. Put an ID here. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. So here's load more. And if the load more button exists, oh, now we have to make sure that we have this in place. And we have to define these first. So I want to show 9 items at a time, and we're going to initialize the index with 0 items. And we're for each looping through the products, so we're basically counting how many to display. And we have to define to display right here. So products slice current index, and then the current index plus the items to show. And that's up here, the items to show. Is that all we need? Let's see. Nope. Now we're going to add that to add that right here. And here's our event listener. Get products, filtered products, except see, I know that this needs to be filtered products. Not exactly understanding that. Yeah. we should be using filtered products here, not all products. So I guess I'm not sure why that's not working. Well, let's go ahead and maybe it's because I'm not doing this sort. So I do also want to sort the products. So all products equals the products sorted by name, A to Z, and then filtered products equals all products. Oh. Yeah, this is the problem with trying to copy and paste work from another project, isn't it? Yeah. Code can become messy quickly, and AI often loses context, making it challenging to get back on track. I also lose context, and I have a hard time getting back on track. So I'm not worried about that. Oh, right here. This is that was wrong. That's why that's not working. Okay, well, we did legitimately have a mistake. Oh, this is also spelled wrong. There we go. There we go. So we just had some mistakes in our variables. Those are the best mistakes to make. Those are the best mistakes to make. Spelling something wrong, getting a variable wrong. So, okay, so now we can see that our filter is in alphabetical order. But we don't have our load more button working yet. So here's our button. Let's keep going. There's more to do to this button. So here's our load more inside of our fetch. So we can fetch additional items. We can get more. Not worried about this. Not worried about this. Here's where we're adding and removing a class based on whether or not there are more items to add. Right here. So, to display, right here. Look at that. Okay. We're not quite there. We're getting there. To display. Okay, let's ask for help. My load more button isn't appending items. It's replacing items. Ah, I didn't do the reset. Got it. I think that's the only thing. There we go. And we can check the button. So here's the button. And that button has a class of more active until we run out of items. And then that class goes away. So that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted for styling. So, okay, so now we have a load more button that's working. So here's what we're gonna do, because this is not working. Me copying and pasting code from my demo project over to this new project and explaining it. I'm glad that people asked me to do that, and I'm glad that I tried it, because how else do you ever know that something does or doesn't work, right? This is the best way to figure out whether or not something does or doesn't work, and that doesn't work. So we are going to use GitHub Copilot to finish this, because I am doing you a disservice by pretending like I can explain and understand something that I didn't write myself. So we're going to continue to use GitHub Copilot to finish this filter, and I'm going to show you what I think the future of development is. So now we have our filtering ready to go, and we have our load more ready to go. Next, we're going to ask for help with this. So let's take this out, and we'll give this an ID of first item. We'll give this an ID of last item, and we'll give this an ID of total items. I have a div with class showing. And 3 IDs. First item, last item, total items. Can you help me with the count? So you want to display the count of currently showing products in your grid and update the elements with IDs. First item, last item, and total items. I'll add code to update these counts after rendering products. Here's what I'll do. Beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that. I don't see it on the page though. Oh, and we actually need to, we're gonna have to pull this out of the Yeah, it's right here. So we need to adjust this a little bit. So I think what I did, what did I do? I ran into this yesterday too. So I think what I did is I put this in a new container. So we've got our meta, and then we've got another set of data inside this. So I think what I'll do is this instead. We'll move this here. It kind of breaks our grid, but you can see here, although this isn't correct, 1 to 0 of 21 results. First item, last item, total items. The last item is not correct. And it's still not correct if we load more. Let's fix our grid. Product grid. So 1 to 9 of 21 results. If we click load more, we should have now 1 to 18 of 21 results. When I load more, the last item count is not updated. So to fix this, you should calculate last item as current index after incrementing it, not before. Okay, so 1 to 9 of 21 results. 10 to 18 of 21 results. Okay, but that's still not... Now the first item is wrong when loading more. The first item is always 1. Good catch. I love it when ChatGPT is like, wow, you're super sharp. One to 9 of 21 results. 1 to 18 of 21 results. And then 1 to 21 of 21 results. Perfect. I mean, how nice was that? That was downright pleasant. That was downright pleasant. So we've changed our markup a little bit. So we do have a grid wrap. and then we have our aside, and we have our product grid wrap, and then we have our product meta, which is up here at the top, and then we have our ID of products. Okay, so I probably should have asked it to do this before, but it's a machine, so it can't get annoyed with me, right? We need to also duplicate. I want this. I'm not going to put all of it. I'm going to copy this and put it. I'm going to do one before and one after, but I'm not going to do all of it. I just want the showing. So this we can take out because I want that number on the top and on the bottom for usability. So it's going to have to loop through those. It's not going to work. It's not going to work both on the top and bottom. Please adjust the JS to reflect that there are two counts. Yes. I mean, the count is displayed on the page twice. Understood. No, I mean, I want to display the count twice. Got it. Yep, so this is what I was looking for. It's for each, it's going to for each through. So now we've got 1 to 9 of 21 on the top, and we've got 1 to 9 of 29 on the bottom, of 21 on the bottom. Load more. Ugh, why it's still counting wrong though? 10 to 18. 10 to 18. 19 to 21. Sure, but the first item is wrong. The first item is always 1. Maybe we don't need to calculate the first item. Maybe the first element is just no, but we do need to calculate it because if there are no results, it should say 0. Okay. This is still wrong. There we go. One to 0. Now it says 1 to 0. 1 to 9 of 21, 1 to 9 of 21, 10 to 18. Good Lord. This is the count that I see after load more. Okay. 25th time is the charm. Well, there we go. 1 to 21 of 21. There we go. All right. Ani K is here. Hello, hello, welcome. If you need context from other files, you can add files from add context button above the chat index input box. Oh, nice. Thank you. I did also figure out yesterday that comments serve as prompts. So I started out initially yesterday. Well, I guess I watched a tutorial on YouTube that basically functioned as the prompts were the comments that they were writing. So I took that approach too. I do like the more conversational approach in troubleshooting. So I've been kind of going back and forth. And we have a question. Hello, I am Krishna and I am from UP and I want to learn full stack development, and I saw you are live. Then I joined, but I don't understand anything in your last 4 video, not found your video. Okay. Hang on, I'm going to answer that question. By default, it only looks at the current file that is open on the editor. It might lead to mistakes. So, thank you for that reminder. Thank you for that reminder. I didn't specifically remember to add the context files there. So, I unfortunately don't teach full stack development. I am a front end developer, and this is probably as good a time as any to remind people that I do front end, and on this channel, I really just practice HTML, vanilla JavaScript, and vanilla CSS. Today is definitely a very heavy JavaScript day. We're using GitHub Copilot. We're using AI to help with JavaScript. I would say it's the one, it's the thing in front end that I struggle the most with. I'm very comfortable with HTML and CSS, and even my accessibility I'm getting very comfortable with. So I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone and do more JavaScript, because I feel like I emphasize vanilla JavaScript a lot on this channel, but I've also felt like maybe I haven't really been delivering on that. So I'm trying to just show you how I troubleshoot and problem solve when I do JavaScript. And tomorrow we're going to get back into CSS. We're just going to be styling this filter all tomorrow. Although we're just about done here today. We're just about done here today. If you want to learn full stack development, I think there are so many great channels out there. I think Brad Traversy for sure is a full stack developer, and he has amazing tutorials. I'm not good at providing really roadmaps, or even in front end development, I'm not the right person to like give people a roadmap. I don't even really think that I have a hard time understanding roadmaps, because I'm a self-taught developer and I did everything just through building projects, right? I just had ideas and I started building stuff, and then problems would arise, situations would present themselves, and I would like just solve problems as they presented themselves in the projects that I worked on. And if I was going to give anybody advice, I would say that that is a really great approach. Think of projects. So if you're thinking to yourself, which courses should I take? Which tutorials should I watch? Watch whatever you want to learn. If there's something out there that looks interesting to you or you feel like you might be good at it, go ahead and start working on those things. Take a course, watch a tutorial. But the real learning comes from projects. It comes from doing exactly what I'm doing here. This is a mock-up that I've had in my collection for like 8 years. I pulled it out, I dusted it off, and we're going to go ahead and build it. And that's how I learn. This is the best way for me to learn, is to just start implementing projects. I also have a lot of actual development experience to draw on, so I know the things that like my employers have asked me to do, my clients have asked me to do. So I have my own ideas, my own things that I'm interested in working on, and then I have the things that like my bosses asked me to work on when I had a boss, the things that I did for my actual job, right? So if you want a roadmap, it's think of something that you want to work on and sit down and work on it. That is the best roadmap. We have other experienced developers here in the chat. Rahul, I know that you are like a senior level developer. If you were going to give somebody advice on a roadmap or what they should be doing, like you tell me. And if your answer is different from mine, that is fine. I would love to hear how other developers answer that question. And I personally don't mind answering it. I will answer that question every time it's asked. So it doesn't bother me at all to answer that question multiple times, because I get asked that question so many times. Yeah, it's just think of an idea and go and build it. That's your roadmap. That's your roadmap. So I hope that's not a disappointing answer. Okay. We're killing it. We're killing it. So our filters are working. We have a load more button and we're showing the correct count as we load more. Next, let's get our search wired up. So we have the correct context in here. Thank you, Rahul, for that. We have the correct context in here. Let's try doing a comment as a prompt. A comment as a prompt. Where would I even put that? I don't even know where I would put that. Probably, well, here's our load more. Here's our filters. I bet we would maybe put it here. Need to search products. Need to search products that match all selected categories and all selected colors. Need to search product names using the search input field. So why is it commenting everything out? Oh, so we would comment that out. Please check that my search input is correct. Please help me with this. Your search input now works. As you type, the product list will filter by name or alt text. Oh, interesting. In addition to category and color, you can combine search with other filters. No, I only want to search by product name. Your search input now only filters by product name. Typing in the search box will match products whose names include the search term, ignoring alt text. Okay, so let's keep. Look at that. All right, now we need a reset button. So we need a reset button for the form that resets all of the options. See, I have to do the prompts, I think, this way because I don't even really know where to put the comments at this point to get it to do the additional things. So, oh, and it removed. I'm going to add this again. Great. Now I need a, and actually I should just add this. So here's our form. And inside the form, I'm going to do button. And I'm not going to do type reset. I'm going to do type button because a button type reset, yes, it clears the form, but it doesn't really refilter the products. Button type button. And I'm going to do reset. And we'll do an ID of reset products. And I'm going to do a class of button for styling. Reset products. Now I need to reset the form, reset the filters. Now I need to reset the filters and products using the reset products button. Your reset button now works. Clicking reset will uncheck all category and color filters, clear the search input, and show all products. So let's add fruit and blue and hit reset. And we have the correct count showing 1 to 2 of 2 results and reset. Not working. Oh, what's happening in our console? Category inputs is not defined. Okay, the reference error is now fixed. The error occurs because category inputs and color inputs are defined inside the create filters function, but your reset button event listener may be running outside their scope. Okay. There we go. take berries, reset. Excellent. Excellent. So now our reset button works. Beautiful. Okay, what's the next thing that we need to do? So we have a load more, we have a reset, our filters are working, our search is working. Next, we need to do our sort. We need to do our sort. And I changed how I did this from last week. So what I did last week was a button with an adjacent unordered list. But what I learned was the better approach was a select drop down and a select drop down and a label. And what I mistakenly thought was that I could only use labels, selects, form inputs inside of a form element. And ChatGPT told me that that was not true, that we could absolutely do a select input with a label, and it also takes care of all of our accessibility concerns. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to do a label for, we'll just say select sort, and we'll say sort by, and then I'll do a select with the name of, I'll just do sort by, sort, select sort, and then we'll do options. So this will be AZ, A, oh, doesn't like that, M dash Z with the value of ZA, so descending, Z, and then this will be low, high, low, high. So that's the price sort. And then we'll do high, low. So we've got A to Z, Z to A, so ascending, descending by name. Then we've got low to high by price, high to low by price, regular price, not sale price. So I'm going to take out this button and this UL. And I don't think we need I will keep this div. There we go. So now we have a div sort. We've got a label for select sort, sort by, select name sort, ID select sort. So because we're using proper labels, this should all get the correct focus and have the correct keyboard navigation. And we shouldn't need to do any additional ARIA labels because using form elements kind of takes care of that for us. Yeah. Okay. Add context. I have to keep adding this index.html. Okay. I have a div class sort with a label and select to sort ascending, descending, price high to low, and low to high. And let's see here. Oh, sorry about that, Rahul. I thought that I made it so you could add anything. I put you on my list so you could post links. Links by non-mods get deleted. I can post them for you if you tell me what they are. You know what? I was kind of thinking about doing this anyways, Rahul, because you are here. You are here almost every weekend. Rahul has earned his wrench. Rahul has earned his wrench. So, Rahul can now enter links in the chat. And Rahul, I'm also, if you want to connect with me offline, I can also add your email address to our Slack channel for the mods. And this was already something I had been thinking about doing anyways. So, roadmap.sh is Rahul's advice. Let's see here. Roadmap.sh. Developer roadmaps. Let's take a look at this for our friend who's asking. Developer roadmaps, roadmap sh. Yes. Welcome, Rahul. This is something I had been thinking about doing. See, here's the thing about YouTube. It's not social media, it's a search engine. So I don't really have a way to reach out to people if there's somebody I want to talk to offline, right? So I have to either talk to them in public or I have to respond to a comment or a chat message, which is still sort of in public. So, but you know what? Sometimes we do things in public and that's okay too. You've been here for many, many weeks. You are so kind. You are clearly knowledgeable. And I had been thinking to myself, I would actually love to give Rahul a wrench. So let's just go ahead and do it. So, and if you want to connect with me offline, if you don't mind sending me an email address, I can go ahead and add you to our Slack channel. And yeah, I mean, the people that I choose to be mods on this channel are really just people who have been kind of showing up consistently and are kind and supportive and seem to have like a similar philosophy as I do about practicing and just enjoying being a developer. And yeah, so there you go. Thank you to all. I think all the mods are here today. Go Elmo, go Monique. I saw Emilio earlier today. I love you guys. You've kind of been hanging out with me for a while and I just really enjoy having you here. So, so here we go. Roadmap.sh. Roadmap.sh. So I think Rahul had maybe possibly a better answer than me, which he was actually able to point you to a resource. So, okay. So now we have let's go ahead and save this. So to enable sorting by name and price using your select, you need to add an event listener for changes to the select, sort the filtered products before displaying them. I'll update your JS so sorting works with your dropdown. Sorting now works with your dropdown. However, there are duplicate variable declarations for sort select. To fix this, I'll rename one of them so there's no redeclaration error. The duplicate is fixed. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep. And let's see if this works. So here's our sort. Oh, whoops. I forgot to Z2A. That doesn't appear to work. Let's see here. Oops, it's not sorting for me. All right. No, it's still not working. To guarantee this, I'll move the sort event listener setup to run after the DOM is loaded outside of create filters, so it's always attached. I'll also ensure that the sort values match your HTML. There we go. So low to high, high to low. Okay. But I do want that to be, let's see, I do want that to be its own function though. Great. Okay. I'm going to make this its own function though. So we'll go ahead and do this here. Function. Oh, it knew what I wanted to do. We'll take this and we'll sort products. Beautiful. So now our sort works. So now we need to make sure that when we reset, oh, we are resetting, but we're not resetting the select. So if I change the sort from Z to A, and then I hit reset, it does reset the products, but it doesn't actually reset the sort. So let's ask it to help with that too. Great, I moved it to its own function. Next, when we reset, it should also reset the select to the default value of A to Z. Now when you click the reset button, the sort dropdown will also reset to A to Z. Okay, so now let's go Z to A, and then we'll reset, and that resets our, so we're low to high, and then let's filter, we'll do cake and orange, and then reset, and now we're resetting everything. This is actually working. This is actually all working. This is amazing. Okay, let's see what's happening in the chat. Rita Kwan is asking, have you considered doing a Discord channel along with YouTube? Yes, in fact, I did set up a Discord channel last fall and I deleted it because I didn't have time for it. It wasn't, people were definitely joining. I just didn't have time to engage with people in Discord. During the week, I am really busy during the week. I'm doing some client work during the week. I'm preparing for the live streams. I'm also making additional content for YouTube, and I just don't have time. So I made the decision to delete the Discord channel and just have this be the place where we chit chat during the streams. So for now, I'm good with that. Yeah, we'll see how things go in the future. Maybe I'll decide again in the future to start a Discord. So, oh, and I think that Krishnakant, I hope I'm saying that correctly, is asking for the last 4 videos. So yeah, I don't think I've done a playlist of my recent live streams, if that's what you were wondering about. So thank you, Rahul, for that. And yeah, okay. Look at everybody is just chit chat. You don't even need me. I don't even need to be here. No problem. That's fine. I don't need to be here at all. You guys all know what to do. You're amazing. So, okay. So we actually, I think this is everything that I wanted to get done today on this. So we can do our search. We can search with category and colors, which narrows the focus. We have a reset button. We have a load more button. We're showing our count on the top and the bottom, and we have a default sort. So I think this is everything that I wanted to do on this filter for today. It was a lot. It was chaotic. It felt chaotic to me. I don't know how it felt to you guys. It felt a little chaotic to me. Yeah. I have no regrets using GitHub Copilot to help with this. None whatsoever. Because I could not have done this myself in this short amount of time. So, yeah, I have no regrets, and the more I think about it, the more I just feel very strongly about the fact that AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere, and it's like anything. Tools are supposed to help us be more productive. They're supposed to help us do more faster, hopefully enjoy the process. That's what I'm getting from GitHub Copilot. That's what I'm getting from GitHub Copilot, is that it's fun. It's helping me work faster, and it's helping me do more complex things in a shorter amount of time. So Monique is saying that I am needed. Thank you. I was being a little bit self-deprecating, but thank you for saying that. That's what mods are for. We handle the behind the scenes stuff. So I love having you guys. I do want to be able to have more focused work time. It's really hard though when I see things in the chat and I'm like, oh, I want to talk. What's everyone saying? I want to see what's going on. So, we're figuring it out. The channel has grown. The channel has almost doubled in less than 2 months. We're very close to being at, in fact, let's see here. We're very close to being at 1,000 subscribers. We're at 925, which is pretty cool. I think that we can get up to 1,000 by September 1st in the next week or so. So we'll see how things go. And yeah, I think this project is going really well. So the hard part is over. The JavaScript is over. Tomorrow we dive back into styling. We're going to get this entire thing styled. We're going to get the filters styled. We're going to get the products styled. We'll get everything back in here and styled now that we have our functionality in place. And then next weekend, we are going to we'll finish getting the footer styled, which there really isn't that much to do on the footer. We already got the layout done. And then we're going to come back up to the header, and we have some things that we kind of have to tighten up here. Like the US dollars and the language feature. Again, I put in buttons with like a sibling unordered list. Same with my account. These are not the right approach. I know they're not the right approach, so we're gonna get that fixed. We'll also implement some JavaScript, not for authentication or signing in, but we will implement JavaScript to change currencies. And I'm not gonna hook it up to like a currency API. I think I'll just make an array with some static values, but we'll still be able to do currency switchers. I don't think I'm going to actually hook this up to anything that changes language, but I will put a select in here so we actually have a select built into the UI, but I'm not going to connect any data or API to that. And then we need to find a better solution for styles for this top part of the header, which is almost done. Maybe if we have time, we could use GitHub Copilot to do like an auto kind of carousel slider. I'm still thinking about that though. So, okay. Well, today was chaotic. It felt a little chaotic to me, but that's okay, right? Code is messy. We've only been here for 2 hours and 23 minutes, and look at all that we've gotten done. I would love to know from people in the chat, if you had to sit down and do all of this functionality, write all of this JavaScript, how long do you think it would take you? If I had to do it from scratch, just with my own wits, I think it would take me a couple of days. It would for sure take me 2, 3, 4 days if I had to do all this myself. So to get all of this ironed out in like a couple of hours using AI, that to me is a huge win. I love it. How many days take class in a week? Anyone tell me, please. So I think you're asking how many days a week should you spend working on development? So however much time you have, right? So whatever responsibilities that you have, you should obviously honor your primary core responsibilities, whatever that is, your family, your kids, your job. I practice, this is my main practice time during these streams. So I'm practicing on average 4 to 5 hours a week while I'm streaming. And I have seen over the last year, I feel like my skills have dramatically improved, especially my CSS and how organized I am and how much more thoughtful I'm becoming when I'm writing CSS, but just even how I write CSS and how I troubleshoot CSS, I have gotten so much better over the last year. And that's just in 4 to 5 hours of learning, of practicing per week. So if you could carve out a couple hours a week to sit and practice, watch a tutorial, think of a project, apply what you learned in that tutorial to the project, and then give yourself 3, 6, 9 months, a year, you will see dramatic improvement. It takes time. It's complex. It's work. It's really hard work. So I can't give you a certain number of hours or a certain number of days a week because everybody's different. There are things that I catch on to very quickly that might take you longer to catch on to. You might be a terrific object-oriented programmer. I suck at object-oriented programming. It's not my thing. My thing is building UIs, and I'm at the point now where I'm not even trying to get better at object-oriented programming because it's not my thing, but I do want to improve my object-oriented program insofar as what we just did today. That I do want to improve. So it's work. It takes time. And Monique is telling me it was not too chaotic. Thank you. It is troubleshooting and it's coding reality. It is absolutely coding reality. Go Elmo Go says that it might take him a few years. A few years, so tears, yes. I've definitely cried before from coding. I don't think it would take you a few years. Go, Elmo, go. I don't think it would take you a few years. Yeah, repetition is key. You will develop muscle memory. So, how not to feel overwhelmed of the current AI situation and still feel motivated to learn. What is the self-talk you give while learning things, as sometimes to learn a point takes time? That's a great question. My self-talk is this. I've been doing this for a long time, and even when I struggled and cried and got upset and frustrated, I still figured it out. So my self-talk is that I figured out problems before. I will continue to solve problems. So it's not that I know everything, far from it. It's that I'm a good problem solver. So I get really self-conscious when what felt chaotic for me today was the fact that I was doing it in public, right? So what I did today is like normal. It is normal to get stuck. It's normal to have a variable not named correctly. It's normal to have something in the wrong place and to need to hunt it down and figure it out. What trips me up and what really flusters me is that I'm doing it in front of people. So for better or worse, this is the situation I've created for myself. And so my self-talk is just to calm down, and that there are people in the chat that are here because they want to see a relatable situation, and that I've done it before, I will do it again. It's just the reality of being a developer. So I hope that makes sense. My self-talk is almost always just that I've done it before, I can do it again. I've never not launched something. I've never not solved a problem. I've always figured out a way to solve the problem. Might have been a little bit of a hack, but I got there. And practice. Above all else, I just want you to practice. That's really the key to getting good at this, is just practicing. So I guess this is it for today. This was a lot. I'm going to edit this video when we're done for the project, the compilation video. So I'll get a good sense of how chaotic it was once I edit this video this afternoon. So thank you to everybody. Thank you to all of the mods and all of the kind people who ask questions and hang out. And Rahil says, but Angela, once one learns something and feels is able to figure out and has the potential to create more and great products, the mind thinks to create more and big products quicker and sooner. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And that's the thing, is that every time I learn something new, it's like a layer. That's how I think of my learning, is everything is like a layer, right? I learn this thing and then I layer it on top of what I already know. And then I learn the next thing and I layer it on top of what I already know. And then and interestingly, the better I got at CSS, the better and more comfortable I started to feel with design. Because once I knew what I could do with CSS, I felt more comfortable designing things, because I was like, oh, I can design this thing now because I actually know how to implement it. So the better I got at CSS, that's one example. The better I got at CSS, the more comfortable I became at being a designer. So I do sort of joke about being an adequate designer or not a very good designer, but probably for a front-end developer, I'm probably like a fairly decent designer. I'm fairly comfortable with the process because I have enough experience writing CSS that I feel comfortable designing things because I know exactly how to implement them. So there's that. So I think that this is a really good point, that once you learn something and you feel comfortable and you figure it out, you are then motivated to do more and do more and do more. So I think that's what your point was. Let me know if I'm wrong. Sent you an email through your website. Couldn't find any other way. Hope you check it. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you. And thank you for being here. And thank you for thank you for being willing to be a mod. And the mods are here as their time and their schedules allow. You never need to give me an explanation if you're not able to come. I'm just happy to have you here if you're around and you want to help keep an eye on things. Yeah, and anybody who wants to reach out to me on Instagram also, you are welcome to do so that way. Okay. Angela, you're talking too much. Time to wrap this up and let everybody go on with their Saturday. Have a great rest of your day. Come back tomorrow. It's going to be all CSS all day tomorrow. We're going to get this category filter completely styled. And I will see you all then. Oh, Rahil has another point. My point was, wanting to learn and create products gets one overwhelmed. How about you? Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, 100%. 100%. That's why I decided to have a channel that was just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, because I also get totally overwhelmed by the number of frameworks and libraries that are out there, and it's too much for me because I know that I don't need to know everything. I know that not every employer and organization needs me to know everything, but I think there is sort of this idea floating around out there that front-end developers need to know the latest, the greatest, and every tool and everything, right? It's just not possible. It's just not possible. My approach tends to be learn to do the things that the person who writes your paycheck needs you to do, right? So, and that can be a little bit of like the chicken or the egg type scenario. How do you know what to learn if you don't have a job yet? I totally get that. You have to decide. You have to sit down and make some decisions about what you want to learn, what you think is going to be in demand, and what employers in your area are going to need you to do. So that's a little bit on you to sit down and figure out. And part of it is just going to be you deciding what you want to do, because you can't do everything. So I call this analysis paralysis. Don't get so caught up in wondering what to do that you do nothing at all. Just pick something and get started. That is my best advice. I hope this helps. Rahul, I'll be here Sunday. Yes, thank you, Rahul. Go Elmo, go. I feel the same way. I'm a new grad and I feel overwhelmed a lot lately, but I'm slowly getting more used to it the more I find stuff and enjoy. And again, this is why I decided to do just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, because there's a lot out there to choose from, and I wanted to just get back to basics and not sit around and overwhelm myself with the number of frameworks and libraries out there, because it's too much for me too. It's too much for me too. So listen, Rahil, the fact that you're even here asking these questions, hanging out in live streams, talking about front-end development speaks volumes. So I think you're on the right track. I just want you to pick something and get busy building. All right, my friend, that's the best approach. So, okay, have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Monique. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. We're going to write some CSS. And have a great one wherever you are. Bye-bye.